I had a reality show.
Okay.
And this was on BET. This was years ago. And BET came to us because they were literally picketing Deborah Lee. She was the president of BET at the time because they had a lot of just really bad content that just didn't show black people in a good light. And people started to picket. They were like, hey man, BET, you got to do better. Like, it can't all be crime. It can't all be true crime. It can't all be rap. It can't, like, can we see something else? And so we were supposed to be the answer to that. We had a show called Family Cruise, and it was when my son was very, very little at the time. And what was wild is that my wife had never been on TV. So it was crazy because I had already done a bunch of stuff, and I was like, yeah, hey babe, let's do this. And she's like, okay. And then it hit her. And all of a sudden they came in and they came in the house and they started putting up cameras and putting up lights, and then they left like when we were supposed to shoot the next day. She's like, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Well, same thing.
Right. She's like, I can't do it. I said, okay. Mind you, we cashed the check already. I had the check and come in. This is the thing. BET had a reputation of not paying people, so I made them give me half the season up front. I said, if you got to give me all the money, half the season up front, and then we'll pay us as we go. And so I got the money, and I'm going, babe, you don't want to do it. Like, really? And she's like, I can't. I won't do it. And I said, I'll call him tomorrow, and we will take it. And lying. I was lying, because I said, there's some way I'm going to make you do this. If I have to knock her out and just stand behind her.
Wow.
Weekend at Bernie's.
It's like I was gonna drug my wife and just have her doing this, like nodding at me.
He didn't drug his wife.
No,
he did not drug his wife. That's Cosby.
That was my mindset was like, in my head I'm like, you are gonna do this. You're gonna right. So, but I said, babe, okay, I'll call her tomorrow. I'll tell him to check all the cameras out. And I was lying because I was like.
So what happened?
So finally, I go to bed and I said, I laid down and I said, we're gonna not do this. We're not gonna do this. But I think you will be making the biggest mistake of your life, because I think everyone needs to see what a great mom you are. And I shifted. You know how you gotta shift.
Not that she's not a great mom. You're a great salesperson.
Hey, wait, man, it was the best selling I ever did. I was sitting there like looking at her eyes and, I was hoping the sweat beads. I was like, you're the best mom ever. And I just like, is this shit working? I don't know.
It did.
And she went, okay. And I didn't, the best thing is to shut up. Like, good salesmen know, just be quiet.
Yeah.
Let her sit with it. Because if I would have pushed one more, she'd be like, oh, hell no. And I sat there quietly and I turned over like I didn't sleep a wink. The people came in and they started filming and she started talking and I was like, oh God, she's doing it. And dude, she loved it. After a while, she's like, where's my crew? Where's my people? She's like, my coffee should have been here. I was like, oh damn, what did I create?
The best mom in the world.
But it's so funny because it's the same.
Same story.
Because it was the intimidation. She saw cameras and she went, oh, wait, this is real. This is happening.